Hi, Cancer. It's Ira. Spirit is showing me a strong light that's been stirring within you, and this reading today is about discovering exactly what is awakening in your DNA. These aren't just small changes, Cancer. This is your soul remembering who you really are, unlocking gifts, wisdom, and pathways that you may not have fully realized until now. By the end of this reading, you'll understand not only what's activating within you, but also how to embody these changes and use them in your everyday life. I often gift free mini readings through email, so feel free to comment your thoughts below. If you'd like a deeper session, personal readings start at $9, and there's also an unlimited membership for $99. And if you'd like to show some love back, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us grow this space. The first card that comes forward is the Hermit. Cancer, this shows that a very deep internal awakening is happening. You may be feeling the need to withdraw or step back from external noise. This is not isolation in the unhealthy sense, but rather spirit guiding you inward so you can finally hear what your soul has been trying to say. You're learning that the answers you've been chasing outside of yourself are already stored in your inner wisdom, and this DNA activation is bringing a sharp clarity to that truth. For some of you, this energy is awakening a gift of inner sight. You might start noticing more intuitive dreams, a stronger inner knowing, or sudden flashes of clarity when you sit in silence. It's almost as though your nervous system is being rewired to pick up on subtle spiritual signals. This can feel disorienting at first, especially if you've relied on logic or external advice in the past. But Spirit is asking you to trust your inner navigation system. There's also a practical element here. The Hermit suggests that your DNA awakening is pulling you towards spiritual or ancestral knowledge. Perhaps you'll feel drawn to meditation, to journaling, or even to studying something ancient that seems to call your spirit back home. This isn't a random interest. It's your soul reactivating wisdom that's been dormant for lifetimes. Every time you honor this pull, you strengthen the light within. On an energetic level, the Hermit in your reading says that solitude is not loneliness right now. It is sacred recalibration. You are stepping into a phase where you must learn to hold your own light. Spirit is reminding you that once this activation settles, you will not only illuminate your path, but also become a quiet for others. What's awakening in your DNA is a code of wisdom, patience, and higher sight that will serve you and those you're meant to help. The second card is the High Priestess. Cancer, this is such a powerful confirmation that psychic and intuitive gifts are coming online. The High Priestess represents the deep mysteries of your subconscious and the veil between the seen and unseen. In terms of DNA awakening, this tells me that parts of your spiritual blueprint are reactivating. You're not just becoming more intuitive, you're remembering that intuition is your native language. One of the strongest aspects here is that you may begin sensing hidden truths more easily. Perhaps you'll feel the energy behind someone's words, or notice synchronicities that lead you toward clarity. Spirit is saying you don't need to doubt these impressions. They are part of your soul's natural abilities. What's awakening in you is the gift of discernment, the ability to see beneath illusions. This will empower you in both spiritual matters and practical, everyday decisions. Another layer of this card is ancestral wisdom. The High Priestess can point to family gifts passed down through bloodlines, psychic dreams, healing hands, or an ability to channel wisdom. Pay attention to what feels familiar, even if you've never practiced it before. Your DNA awakening could stir talents that your ancestors once carried but couldn't fully use. You are the one chosen to activate them now. On a practical note, Spirit also encourages balance. Awakening these gifts can feel overwhelming if you try to live fully in the spiritual plane. You're being asked to ground, drink water, spend time near the ocean or rivers, and take care of your body as these activations flow through. The High Priestess says you are stepping into mastery, but the mastery is not rushed. It's a process of unfolding trust between your higher self and your physical self. The third card is the Tower. Now, Cancer, don't be alarmed. This isn't destruction in the way people often fear. In the context of DNA awakening, the tower shows that old structures within you are breaking down so the new codes can settle in. This can look like sudden endings, shifts in perspective, or even health patterns being disrupted so your body can recalibrate. You may find that old ways of identifying yourself no longer fit. Beliefs you once clung to might suddenly feel hollow. Spirit is saying this is not loss, it's liberation. What's awakening in your DNA is incompatible with outdated identities or attachments, so the tower clears them out. For example, you may suddenly realize that certain relationships or career paths are no longer aligned with who you're becoming. Energetically, this card shows your nervous system undergoing major adjustments. The old coding in your DNA, the survival patterns, the generational fears, are being dismantled. This might feel chaotic at times, almost like your inner world is being shaken up. But Spirit emphasizes that these changes are precise, guided, and designed to leave you freer than before. The storm is not punishment. It's the lightning strike that activates the hidden power lines within you. Practically speaking, the tower invites you to surrender to these shifts instead of resisting them. If something is leaving your life, trust that it no longer supports your awakened DNA. Let the false foundations collapse so you can rebuild stronger. This is the moment when Cancer learns to step into true authenticity, not based on external approval, but rooted in the core of who you really are. The fourth card is the Star. This is such a beautiful transition after the Tower, Cancer. Spirit is showing that once the old is cleared away, you step into profound renewal and healing. The Star in this context reveals that your DNA awakening is reconnecting you to hope, inspiration, and a sense of divine purpose. Where you once felt broken, you now begin to feel restored. This card speaks of a gentle but powerful energy entering your field. You may notice physical healing, a lighter emotional state, or a more optimistic outlook. Spirit is saying your body is learning to carry higher vibrations, and this process can feel like a deep cleansing. You're learning not only to heal yourself, but also to become a vessel of healing for others. On a spiritual level, the Star points to guidance from your higher self and from divine beings. This awakening isn't random, it's orchestrated. You may notice more synchronicities, angelic numbers, or signs that confirm you are on the right path. This is your DNA remembering its divine blueprint, reminding you that you were never disconnected from Source. Practically, the Star asks you to nurture hope, creativity, and self-expression. Singing, painting, writing, or any form of creative outlet can amplify the awakened codes in your DNA. Spirit says that when you allow your gifts to flow outward, they anchor more firmly within you. You are not just healing, you are becoming a beacon of inspiration, showing others what is possible when you trust the light within. The fifth card is Judgment. Cancer, this is the card of awakening in its purest form. Judgment signifies that your DNA activation is pulling you into a higher calling, a new identity, and a deeper alignment with your soul's mission. It is as though Spirit is sounding a trumpet within your very cells, asking you to rise up into your truest form. This card reveals that you are moving beyond karmic loops and generational burdens. The old patterns embedded in your DNA, fear, doubt, or cycles of lack, are being released. You are stepping into a fresh chapter, one where your choices are guided by higher awareness rather than old conditioning. Spirit is saying this is not just about personal awakening, but also about your role in the collective awakening. Judgment also highlights accountability. You may feel called to evaluate your life with honesty, what aligns with your awakened self, and what doesn't. This process isn't about guilt, it's about clarity. You're being guided to release shame and step into freedom. Your DNA is awakening to the truth that you are not bound by the past, but empowered to create the future. On a practical level, Judgment may stir big decisions. Some of you may feel called to shift careers, change your environment, or start pursuing paths that once seemed too bold. Spirit is reminding you that these impulses are not random, they are aligned with your awakened blueprint. This is your moment of rebirth, Cancer. The life you're stepping into now is one where your inner calling and outer actions are finally united. My DNA is awakening to its highest potential, releasing what no longer serves me and activating the wisdom, healing, and light within me.